Welcome everybody to the first in our series of webinars this year, LegalShield Membership Benefits Explained. My name is Mike Fiffick. I'm the managing partner here at Fiffick Law Group, a provider law firm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We also have offices in Philadelphia, and we provide services for LegalShield members here in Pennsylvania and all around the country who have issues that have some connection to Pennsylvania, whether you're from California or New York or Minnesota or Florida. If you've got a legal related matter in Pennsylvania or connected to Pennsylvania, we are going to be talking to you and providing services to you, and we're very happy to do so. We are joined today by two longtime and great team members of my team. Noemi Reyes is the administrator for our LegalShield division, and Deb Serrani is also been a long time sort of benefits explanation and benefits interpretation member of my team. And the two of them will be combining to help you better understand really what I would call the core of the LegalShield membership. This is the benefit that is used the most by LegalShield members. This is where we deliver 95% of the value that we deliver for LegalShield members. This is what gives you power. If you are a LegalShield member, this is what gives you power that others don't have who are not part of the LegalShield community. And that is the consultation benefit, the document review benefit, and the letter benefit. So with that, I'm going to hand things off to Noemi.
Hi, good afternoon. As Mike said, thank you everyone for being here. We're so excited to do this series of just giving everyone a better explanation of what their benefits have, because I know myself, sometimes when I get a contract, I don't always read it. And so you don't always know what's included. So today we're going to cover, like Mike said, the consultative side of it, letters and documents reviews. So who can receive assistance under the consultation benefit? Well, it's the covered person, so the main member and their spouse, and any unmarried children of the member and their spouse who are under 26. That's really important to know that they have to be under the age of 26. If they age out, if they're over 26, they would have to get their own plan. Children under 18 of the members or a spouse or legal guardian, dependent children, no matter what age, who are physically disabled or mentally incapacitated, who are unable to be employed and make their own legal binding decisions, financially dependent and residing with the member and the member's spouse. Note, a dependent is the natural or adopted child of the member or the member's spouse. So those are the folks that can receive benefits.
Hey, Noemi, I sometimes members call in about other members of their family, meaning not their immediate household family, right? Like I just got off the phone with somebody calling about questions regarding powers of attorney for his sister. Should a LegalShield member expect that he'll have at least a basic consultation about something like that?
It varies on the provider firm. Let me disclose that. So it depends on your state. Typically that would not be covered. The issue has to be the member's issue in order to receive the services. That's a good question, Mike. That happens very often. Typically at FLG, longstanding member, we will give a courtesy consult and give that member direction for their family member, even offer a courtesy referral if we're able to do that. What consists of the telephone consultation? Under the telephone consultation, you receive toll-free consultations, unlimited number of personal legal matters. The consultation, each legal matter are available to the extent the provider attorney deems necessary. If I'm talking too fast, just let me know. For the covered person, at the provider's discretion, up to 1 hour of legal research concerning the issue. Okay, the consultation service does not include, so if you have a personal legal family plan, it's not going to include any business related matters. This includes matters involving ownerships, management, businesses, partnerships, anything like that would not be covered under the legal family plan. We will not assist you in pro se representation. That means you can't call us and ask us to help you complete any forms or motions or pleadings or anything like that when your matter has developed into the litigation process. We cannot assist you with any disputes involving any provider attorneys or provider firms or LegalShield.
Naomi, if I could just make a brief comment on the
Sure.
pro se, that's a Latin term. We use a lot of Latin in the practice of law. That means representing yourself. If you're somebody that's involved in a lawsuit and you're representing yourself, the consultation benefit is not intended for you to call us and have us tell you what you should file, what the next step is. And the reason for that is that we really don't know enough about the lawsuit to give you good advice. Sometimes if we don't know enough, the advice that we give you might be the wrong advice or dangerous advice. So the plan is not really set up for that. If you want to retain an attorney for your legal matter, we can talk about referring you to somebody that you can hire at a discounted rate. But this is something that sometimes folks think that the membership can be used for. And in fact, I just talked to somebody this morning who's in the midst of a piece of litigation, and she has a filing deadline coming up in a few days, bought the membership and was expecting that we would be able to either prepare that filing for her or refer her to an attorney to do that. And there simply just wasn't enough time for us to do that kind of a thing. So it's an unfortunate but common misunderstanding about what the consultation benefit can be used for.
Thanks, Mike. Other services that are not included are any matters which the provider attorney determines that has unreasonable number of times. Sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. Any matters that the provider attorney feels like we have gone above and beyond, it's up to the attorney's discretion to say what more we can do for you. This is always a murky one for some people because, we can do the telephone consult, the letter, things like that, but there gets a point in time where there's nothing more we can do under this benefit, or we just simply have to refer you. Matters against the primary member's employers where you purchased your membership from your employer. So if your employer is providing your plan and you get your weekly deduction or your monthly deduction and it's paid through your employer, any issues that arise with your employer, we cannot consult on with. Again, this is one of those areas that, we wish we could help, but unfortunately we are limited to assisting members. And then any matters where a dependent would call in against the main member, we cannot assist the dependent.
So spouse calling in on the husband's plan can't call in and say, I want to sue my husband, or he did something bad to me or stole some money. We can't help, right?
Nope, sorry, we can't help. Same thing, upset child wants to, emancipate their parents. We cannot assist them.
Right. My parents won't pay for college tuition. Do I have a claim against them? Can't help with that, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We won't be able to help. And it's always a difficult conversation to have when, benefits aren't able to be provided, but we're restricted by the contracts that we have. You can receive one letter under your legal matter that you're calling about under the intake. Sometimes, and again, this is based upon your provider firm. However, at FLG, if the attorney warrants that a second letter or a follow-up letter would result in a good result for our members, we will send a second letter, but it's not required. We just do that because it's the best way to serve the member if we can help them. So you're entitled to receive one letter under each legal matter. Again, any additional phone calls, letters would be at the preferred member discount.
And when we say letter, this is sort of like written in a non-digital world. This membership language has been around for a long time. When we say letter, it might mean an email, right? Maybe we send an email on your behalf, or maybe we send a letter, we get a response via email from the opposing party, and we communicate with them via email. Those types of communications would all, when you read letter, you might also include that to mean an email communication, if that's the best way to communicate with the opposing party on your behalf. Perhaps it would even be a text message. Whatever way we think is the best way to communicate with the opposing party, the most effective way to provide those services to our member, we're going to try to do that.
And again, the letter, if the letter is warranted, that's up to the discretion of the attorney. It's based upon their professional judgment to see if in your circumstance, a letter would be able to assist. We cannot get involved in communications with the courts or judges. We can ask for a continuance for you. We can't do anything like that. We can't write a letter to an appeals court or an administrative office. The same thing goes with a letter to federal agencies such as the IRS or the Department of Revenue. Any sort of communication in litigation, pleadings, motions, we can't do anything like that. Or get involved with any telephonic hearings either. We cannot provide assistance with that as well. We can always, in the alternative, offer you a referral to an attorney that you could retain that could assist you with these matters. But on the consultative level, we can't do these.
Yeah, and just so that folks know that are listening to that, the reason for that is, again, partially because within the context of a telephone consultation, maybe a limited document review, that probably doesn't provide us with quite enough information to fully understand the nature of the proceeding that's going on or what an appropriate response would be. That's part of it. Secondly, we also, if we are communicating on your behalf, courts, other lawyers are going to understand that letter to mean that we've agreed to provide some ongoing services for you. And it creates a misunderstanding that could ultimately work to the member's detriment, where the court or the other attorney or the opposing party no longer communicates directly with you and wants to communicate with us. And so to keep things really clear, we will not write letters to the courts so that there's no misunderstanding about what our role is in that matter. And I see that we have some questions coming in. We will answer them at the end of the session.
Yep. So you call in, you get your consultation, you have your consultation with one of our attorneys. The attorney requests that you submit some documents for their review. So now we're going into the document review service of your plan. We will review any personal legal documents. The document page limit is 15 pages, but I will tell everybody a secret, which will probably not make me look good with our attorneys. At FLG, we will review up to 20 pages. Not every provider firm will do that. So that's exclusive to FLG. We'll give you up to 20 pages to review at no charge. Anything over the 20 pages, we do charge for those documents to be reviewed. We'll still review them, but they would just be at a charge. The covered person must be the contracting party, and the provider attorney, they have 3 business days to review those contracts. I'll go to the next slide, sorry. Okay, documents that cannot be reviewed. Again, we keep talking about ongoing court proceedings, such as pleadings, petitions, things like that. If you have a legal family plan, we cannot review any business documents. That would be partnership agreements, and anything like that, we would not be able to review. Documents where the covered person is seeking negotiation, editing services, or anything like that, that's not available under a free document review, but it's definitely something we can assist you with, and that would be at the preferred member discount or the 25% discount. And again, documents exceeding 15 pages can be reviewed at a flat fee up to 30 pages, and then anything over 30 pages, we do offer the preferred member discount as well. Out-of-state consultation services. One of the benefits of being a member of LegalShield is you have this unique network of attorneys out there that if you call Pennsylvania and your issue stems to be, you have a legal issue in New York or Florida or New Jersey, we can get the provider firm to assist you with that matter. So you get to have coverage for that legal matter. And as long as it's appropriate for that state, we're able to refer you to another state. Again, that's a unique, great benefit that you have as being a LegalShield member. So let's go through some scenarios about the benefit. So Romeo and Juliet, they elope in Las Vegas. While in Vegas, Romeo rents a car and causes an accident with St. Valentine's vehicle in the parking lot of Graceland's wedding chapel. He has now received a letter from St. Valentine's Insurance Company about the damages caused. Can Romeo receive a consultation with an attorney in Nevada regarding his rights and obligations? Well, we just reviewed that part of the benefit. Yes. Under the consultation benefit of his plan, Romeo can receive a consultation on the matter that occurred outside of his state. Romeo will be offered a consultation from an attorney within the Nevada LegalShield provider firm. Again, every single one of our provider firms have the best attorneys. Second scenario, member Mr. Cupid is calling regarding one of his customers. He is having problems collecting what he is owed. Other party, Juliet, second castle on the right, she owes him for the order of personalized arrows. Mr. Cupid has a legal plan. Can he speak to an attorney? The answer is no. Why is that? Because he only has the family legal plan. So he has no coverage for his business matters pertaining to anything that has producing income, that can produce income, is not covered. What would we do? We would open the intake, advise the member to contact LegalShield Member Services and get a plan, either the HBS, which is a business plan, or a small business plan, so we can assist him with this situation. All right, so if I'm talking too fast, please let me know. Miss Piggy called in regarding a possible divorce from Maine member Kermit the Frog. She has questions for the attorney about divorce. The plan is the legal plan. Does Miss Piggy have benefits? Unfortunately, she does not, because she is the spouse of the Maine member and doesn't have any benefits regarding this service. So we would not be able to assist her. However, if Kermit the Frog would call in, we'd be more than happy to assist him.
One tricky way that can come up, I'll just mention, is when the dependent, the spouse on the membership, not the named member, but the spouse calls in to have estate planning done and they want to disinherit their spouse. That can be a little bit of a tricky way that can come up. Now we can do that if they're both on the same page about how that plan is going to go. Maybe it's a second marriage and they've both agreed that they're going to not leave anything to one another and to just their kids from prior relationships, or they have a prenuptial agreement. So that can be a little bit of a tricky way that you can have things happen, especially if they're a little bit older and maybe the main spouse has dementia or some other substance abuse issues or whatever going on, that it is that the dependent spouse doesn't want to leave them anything in their estate. So this can come up in lots of different ways, and we try to address that and explain to folks the best way possible when we aren't going to be able to provide benefits.
Okay. Let's see. So Cupid decides to take a vacation to Brazil. While in Brazil, the Grinch steals his bow and arrow. Cupid calls in and requests a consultation on how to pursue. The Grinch is in Brazil for the return of his property. Can Cupid receive a consultation? The answer is no. Cupid's membership benefits only cover those incidents and matters that occur within the United States. International matters are not covered. This is starting to be a little tricky with, we get a lot of requests for services for Canada, and we get some for Puerto Rico.
Or cruises,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Cruise-related matters.
Yeah. So if it's outside the US, unfortunately, we cannot assist you. Okay, Mike, that's all I had. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, it looks like we have some questions here. This, just so that everybody knows, this recording will be on our YouTube channel. If you search for FIFIC Law Group on YouTube, you will find a recording of this video. If you would like to look at it again or share it with any members that you've sold a membership to, if you're an associate. So somebody asks, what if you still have an original expanded legal plan that covers business issues? That's a really good question. If you do have one of the old plans that has some limited benefits for business related matters, yeah, absolutely. We will provide the services that are covered in your plan.
Just real quick, Mike, we've actually had this come up recently. I would suggest that if you feel that you have the Access Legal plan, you double check your plan. And LegalShield had sent out over the last year, they've been upgrading these plans. So some people are losing those plans. So you want to pay attention to your emails that you're receiving from member services and make sure that you still have that Access Legal plan.
Yeah, if you'd like to keep it. Somebody, Corinna, I think, is asking about Zoom hearings. Attending Zoom hearings or participating in Zoom hearings would not be something that we would, a service that we would provide under the consultation and review, document review, or letter writing benefit. It might be something that we would do if we were representing a member under the preferred member discount services or trial defense services or traffic related services. Those are a topic of other benefits explained webinars, so please plan to tune in on those. We do have some other associate workout recordings on our YouTube channel if you're an associate that you might like to watch on various aspects of the membership. We do a deep dive into some of those benefits, including the preferred member discount referral services and traffic services. So there's a lot more information available on those topics on our YouTube channel. Allison asks, we always refer to their provider firm in the state they have an issue in. Yes, if a member is seeking consultation benefits about an out-of-state matter, you will always send them to the provider firm first. And I would say 99.9% of the time, it's the provider firm that is going to talk with the member about that situation, unless there's some extraordinary reason why the provider firm is unable or unwilling to talk to the member about that. But yes, 99.9% of the time, you're going to be talking to the provider firm in that state. Maybe you had a problem and you took a vacation and rented an Airbnb in Florida or North Carolina, and you had some problem there. We'll send you to the provider firms in those states to talk to get some additional assistance about those matters. And your plan benefits are the same everywhere, no matter what provider firm covers it, right? You're going to get a free consultation, a document review, a letter written on your behalf for that matter by that other provider firm. That's what's necessary in their state. It's not unusual for us to have requests from other states for matters that have some connection to Pennsylvania, whether they're here because the person was here physically, or maybe they have a contract that they've signed and the law that governs the contract is Pennsylvania law. We might be able. Karina would ask that you would cover the Native American issues again, Noemi, if you wouldn't.
Yep. I'm going to share my screen right now. I saw that, so I was prepared. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So Native American legal issues are excluded from the services, and they are not available under the 25% discount. Such issues include any legal matters relating to an Indian tribe and the tribal government. This has also excluded legal issues before federal, tribal, and or state or local administrative bodies. So anything to do with any tribal government or any governing issues like that. Sorry, sort of went over that pretty quickly. It's not something that we deal with in Pennsylvania, but I'm certain some other states, they run into this a lot, but it would not be covered.
Okay, we have a question from a viewer, Maya Fisher, who is a plant. What happens if the out-of-state provider has a conflict? So what she's asking is, let's say that Pennsylvania member Noemi Reyes has an issue in Florida and with with Joe Smith. And we sent her down to the Florida provider firm. And Joe Smith happens to be a member in Florida, the person that she has a problem with. The most important thing for members to understand about that type of a situation is that members are always entitled to their benefits. So you're going to get a consultation on your legal matter, even if the other person or the person that you have a dispute with is also a LegalShield member, right? Now, the law firm that assists you with your matter may not necessarily be a provider law firm that provides services to that Florida member, but you will be referred to an attorney in our referral network that we've been working with for many, many years. We've vetted these attorneys, and they will provide the benefits to which you are entitled, even if it isn't provided by the provider law firm in that state.
I think it's important to say at no cost to the member.
At no cost to the member. That's exactly right. Ralph asks for some issues that aren't covered by the consultation, letter writing, or document review benefits. Can they still be covered by the preferred member discount? Yes, it can, right? Some matters may not be, but or we can't always guarantee that somebody's going to agree to represent a member on whatever their particular issue is. So it's, you have to have a meritorious claim. So we don't guarantee that you're going to find a lawyer who will take your case, but we will certainly connect you with a lawyer who'll be happy to talk to you about providing those additional services for you. It might be us as a provider firm that does that, or maybe it's a lawyer in our referral network. Allison has to follow up on that conflict. If that case would they come back to you for referral or the Florida firm? I think what you're asking is in the event of a conflict, it's our responsibility to find somebody who is going to provide services to a Pennsylvania member.
Yeah.
That would be the same, holds true for any provider firm. They are the ones who are responsible for ensuring that their members receive the benefits to which they are entitled, wherever that might be.
That's correct.
So that's a good question.
That is a good question. Our firm would do the legwork to locate an attorney in the Florida area if the provider firm could not take the case for us.
That's right. And I'll say in general with benefits, they can vary. Every provider law firm does things a lot the same, but a little bit different. There are going to be variations depending on where you are. So if you're a sales associate or a member, you should definitely request to have a chat with the administrator in your provider law firm to talk to them about any types of questions that you have relating to how your benefits are delivered and what the scope of the benefits are in your state. We don't speak for every provider firm. We can only speak from our experience. I will tell you that we've been working with our provider law firm brothers and sisters for many, many years. They're all super dedicated to LegalShield and LegalShield members. They're all very, very good lawyers and super customer service focused. So they are going to do what they can do for their members and members all around the country to the extent that the benefits are available under the plan.